Are you struggling with the JWT auth no auth header error while trying to validate your WordPress REST API JWT token? You're not alone. This is a common issue that many developers face, and today we're going to solve it together. I understand how frustrating it can be when you're trying to connect your WordPress website with your React application and you hit a roadblock. This error can really throw a wrench in your plans. Let's break down the specific situation. One user reached out saying they can generate a token using the endpoint, but when they try to validate it, they receive an error stating that the authorization header is not found. Sound familiar? Let's dive into the details. So, what could be causing this JWT auth no auth header error? It often happens when the server is not passing the authorization header correctly. This can be due to server configurations or missing settings in your WordPress setup. Stay with me. By the end of this video, you'll have a clear understanding of how to fix this issue and get your JWT authentication working smoothly. To resolve the JWT auth no auth header error, the user should first ensure that the authorization header is being sent correctly in the request. This can be done by checking the request headers in the Network tab of the browser's developer tools. Next, the user should verify that the server is configured to pass the authorization header correctly. This involves ensuring that the .htaccess file is set up properly. The user can add the following lines to their .htaccess file if they haven't already. After updating the .htaccess file, the user should test the endpoint again to see if the authorization header is now being recognized. If the error persists, they may need to check their server configuration or any security plugins that might be stripping headers. If the issue continues, the user can implement a debugging function to log the request headers. This will help identify if the authorization header is being sent and received correctly. Finally, if all else fails, the user can consider using a plugin like JSON Basic Authentication temporarily for testing. However, they should aim to resolve the JWT authentication issue for production use. Fun fact, did you know that the JWT, or JSON Web Token, was created to help with secure information exchange? It's a powerful tool, but it can be tricky to set up correctly. Now, let's look at the answers provided by other users. An alternative solution comes from another user who faced a similar issue. They discovered that having two plugins, JWT Auth and JWT Authentication for WP API, caused a conflict. Once they deactivated Auth, everything worked perfectly. Here's a pro tip. If you're still having trouble, consider using the JSON Basic Authentication plugin temporarily. It can help you troubleshoot by sending the username and password in the headers. And there you have it. With these steps, you should be able to resolve the JWT auth no auth header error and get your JWT authentication working. If you found this video helpful, please subscribe for more troubleshooting tips.